Dan, today's lineup, Canzone in the field, Robles starting on the bench. Just what kind of went into the mindset to make that decision for today's game?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen some really good at bats from Leo throughout his time with our club. Certainly, the game against Detroit, picking up that huge pinch hit knock, and what he's done at second base is stellar as well. So, getting a chance to get him in there, and I think it should work out well. Dom has played right field all season for us, and handles that well, and allows Polo a chance to DH tonight. So, just a good time to get Leo in the lineup.
Go to Tim on the left.
Dan, do you have a Game 5 starter?
Yeah, Bryce Miller will take the hill for us tomorrow night. Obviously pitched well against Toronto in the first game, and looking forward to giving him the ball tomorrow.
Being that Bryce is starting tomorrow, what is the plan for Brian at this point?
Yeah, Brian's going to be available out of the pen, and I think that's the plan here going forward, and he's in good spot, and he's feeling good, and I think at this point that's where we're going to see him coming out of the pen.
Go to David, or right in front.
Dan, you mentioned Leo. I believe you mentioned a few days ago that the decision to pinch hit Leo in Game 5, part of that came from Manny Acta. Mm-hmm. Is that correct? Can you talk about what Manny brings to the table as bench coach for this team and for you as manager?
Yeah, can't do it without Manny. He really, our entire staff is just outstanding. And Manny's, been in the game so long and has such good experience, such good feel. And so being able to rely on Manny as much as I do is a luxury. And, he just sees the game so well, understands the game so well. And I think that the key is, the game has changed over time, but Manny's been a part of that, and he has seen it change over time. And, just what he does and how he sees it is such tremendous experience, and to be able to rely on that, like I said, is a luxury. He's a great human, so it's just I think it's been a great relationship, and really appreciate all that Manny brings to our entire staff.
Go right here, Josh.
Dan, is Victor Robles full strength after going into the boards kind of hard yesterday and out today?
Pardon me?
I said, is Victor Robles all right after that catch in right field?
Yeah, he's fine. A great catch, great effort, which is, what we always see from Victor. And as we talked about last night, sort of reminiscent of that play in San Francisco, but, going in there hard. But that's the effort you always get from Vic.
Stay right here with Dan.
Dan, what are the challenges that Brian might now face transitioning into a role that he hasn't had, at least at the big league level? We know he did back in college.
Yeah, I think obviously it's a different kind of a role. He had a chance to do it in the All-Star game, so maybe a little bit of experience coming out of a pen. But again, this is the time of year where you ask people to do things that they're not as comfortable doing, or they haven't done as much. But he's got a wealth of people that will help him. The Rock, Logan Gilbert did it recently. They can help. So I think he'll be in good shape. And again, I think he's excited to get back out there.
We'll go back to Tim on the left.
One more on Brian. How much of the fact that he wasn't built up and he was probably going to be on a limited pitch count factored into using him out of the pen versus having him start?
Yeah, obviously something we considered and talked about, getting him in a game, will also allow us to, just kind of see how he is and where he's at, and that's important too. So, kind of have to wait and see how these games develop and what happens. But again, we're excited to find a spot for him and get him out there.
Anything else for Dan? We'll go back to Taryn in the front.
Dan, the offense has really been successful against Toronto's bullpen so far this series. Even last night, the score was what it was, but had those 2 home runs late in the game. Just what have you seen from Toronto's relievers in the series that you feel like has allowed the lineup to have success against them?
I think it's more what our offense is able to do. And, we've talked about what our guys do, what they do well. They put up good at-bats, throughout. And last night was no exception. They play hard for 9 innings, even in a one-sided game, and some really good at-bats late. So, I think, again, what we do as a club offensively, is really, tells the story and good at bats, grind them out at bats, and getting base runners on base, creating a little pressure on the defense, and being able to drive the ball in the gaps. Sometimes it goes out of the ballpark, and we were able to do that last night.
We'll stay in the front with Jessamine.
Last night, in talking to a young player, Harry Ford, I asked him who was the leader after a game like that. Who did he depend on? He said Josh Naylor immediately was the one that rallied the troops, if you will. Is there someone that you depend on, or do you let them handle it themselves?
I mean, like I've said, there is a group in there, and it's a group of leaders, and different guys do different things at different times. Nails, since coming over, has been a leader for sure. But there's also other guys in there that have led, and they do such a great job. But it's a great culture in there. I believe Polo said that they trust each other, they rely on each other, and that's the way that this group is. And I think it's a group that has bounced back and has been resilient throughout the course of the year, and I think that's a big reason why. And again, that's why I just keep saying it's a very special group, and what they have in that clubhouse is very special.
Go on the back left, David.
Hey, Dan, one more question on Wu. What's the challenge in getting him ready if you need to use him, as opposed to a reliever who you can get hot in a hurry?
Yeah, I mean, you have to kind of give him a little bit more time. We talked about this a little bit with some of our starters before Game 5 of the ALDS, knowing that we might have a chance to use Logan Gilbert and Castillo, which we did. But again, I think they're able to use each other as resources, and we'll try to give them as much time as possible to get prepared to go out there. And that's really the thing that's the only thing we need to be concerned about is just giving him enough time. And but I think again his availability, his wanting to get back out there, will really help there.
We'll go on the far left, Kate.
With Leo Rivas, he said that his job in the box is to be a pest, put a lot of pitches on a starter, work along at bat. Is the hope that not only he can do that from that bottom part of the lineup, but also that his approach might be a little contagious for the rest of the lineup?
Yeah, I mean, again, Leo's at-bats have been, so solid this year, and has drawn a lot of walks, has found his way on base. I think that's a big part of it. And, just, his ability to grind out pitchers down at the bottom of the order is helpful. And that's, I think, he identifies exactly with what he needs to do down there at the bottom of the order. And, looking forward to getting that in there tonight with him.
Go on the far right, Rick.
Danny, what kind of resource is Mitch Garver tonight facing Max Scherzer as they were together a few years ago?
Yeah, Garv has been really, he's just been tremendous all season long in terms of that. A lot of experience, obviously, having been to the World Series before, and just helping all along. But as I've said, he and Cal work so well together, and they talk about hitters a lot. And tonight, he gets to talk about a pitcher and what he saw from him. So all that, they definitely will take all that in, and our hitters will have, a good idea of what to expect. And but Garv has been, that's what you hope for from your veterans, and he's been great about it, and continues to do that throughout this playoff time too.